You know what's great? Going to a game. You know what's not great? Parking at a game. With Uber, you can turn event parking into a non-event. Just install the Uber app. Enter your destination, confirm your location, and within minutes, a car will pick you up. I know, right? With upfront fares, you can know the price before you go. And you pay with the Uber app so you can save your cash for the souvenir shop. So make tonight a fun night. Install the Uber app now and take your first ride today. Uber, the better way to get there.
Goldilocks Productions presents Connecting with Betty Jane Ware Show. Betty Jane is a third-generation seer and highly intuitive reader. She is a practicing witch with over 30 years in the craft. An international psychic, Betty Jane has a number of well-known personalities as her clients. Betty Jane is very much to the point, a natural reader, very intuitive with whom you immediately feel a connection with. Should you have a reading together, you will be calling back for future appointments. Betty Jane is currently working on her 4th book in the Connecting With series. Call in now to reserve your spot on the switchboard. The call-in number is 713-955-0594. Press 1 if you would like to ask a question to Betty Jane Ware. Enjoy this 1 hour of intuitive readings and healing.
Hello, and welcome to Connecting With. I'm Betty Jane. It's been an awesome weekend in beautiful Kitchener-Waterloo, and I enjoyed every single minute of seeing all of my clients there. So it was really nice to connect with people for the new year. Speaking of the new year, does anybody know what Friday is? Well, my lovely producer here, Tiffany, just reminded me that the Leafs and the Rangers are playing, and we all know that the Leafs are going to win this Friday night. Ha ha, Tiffany. Condolences to our young juniors here in Canada who did lose the gold medal game, but they did awesome. And congratulations to the Americans who did do a very good job there. As you can tell, I am very much a hockey girl. I know we have a caller waiting, so let's take the first caller at 502, please, Tiffany.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. And who am I speaking with?
This is Katie from Kentucky.
Hi, Katie. How can I help you?
I'm actually a first-time caller. I'm just at home doing some cleaning and saw your show and thought I'd check it out. So I'm not really sure exactly what it is that you do. Just whatever you pick up on, or am I supposed to ask you a question?
Absolutely. I'm a psychic medium, so I work with spirit, and in a call-in radio show, you just ask a question, and I will tell you how spirit directs me to answer you.
Can I just ask, like, general?
Whatever you
like.
like.
Does it need to be like, oh, goodness, there's so many different aspects.
That's a reading, not a radio show question.
I know. I'm trying to think of how to word it.
Okay.
Basically, just what, for the new year for 2017, basically how can I'm trying to figure out what my purpose is, I guess. I'm not working at the moment. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And trying to figure out how do I live up to my fullest potential, I guess.
Okay.
Something along those lines.
How long have you been staying at home?
I had to quit my job back in June to get my son ready for preschool. The hours didn't work with my job, so it's been about 8 months.
Okay.
And he's only in preschool part-time. So I'm kind of, I'm not the stay-at-home mom type. I'm a Capricorn. I'm a career girl, but I don't know what it is I'm supposed to be doing.
What did you do before you left your job?
I've actually done a couple things, but I was, at the time, I was a client relations specialist for, like a records management company.
Okay.
It's absolutely nothing to do with anything that I'm went to school for. It's just kind of fell into my lap. And then before that, I was a benefits analyst, which is also not my forte. I think that's kind of why I've always been bored at my jobs. I'm not passionate about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So
No, that's what I'm feeling. I think you sort of need to go back to school to figure out what you want to be when you grow up. I think it's all over the place, and I think that you sort of really need to work on figuring that out. I think you need to look inside. And boredom in job, well, sometimes we have to put up with that because it pays bills. So that's not all that unusual. But I think you need something that gives you a little bit more variety in life. Because you have children, you're not going to be able to do like a travel adventuring type of job. But I do see you doing something in the travel industry, maybe booking or something like that. I don't know. I do see travel as part of your future for you, though. Not necessarily leading groups and things like that, but maybe doing bookings until you can get to that point where you can do something that's a little more intellectually stimulating for you.
that's a good way to put it. Intellectually stimulating. That's what I'm seeking. That's good advice.
Well, you try, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So I hope that gave you a little bit of clarification. But take this next couple of months to really look within and see what you want, and I think the answers are going to come to you. I really do.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a
good
great
confirmation.
day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Well, let's take another caller. Okay, Tiffany, if we could have caller number 310, please.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. This is Brittany speaking.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi. So I'm calling because in lieu of Mercury retrograde, I had some miscommunication with my beloved, and he and I are right now separated. And so I wanted to see what maybe Spirit would be saying about a reconciliation between the two of us. The love is certainly there, but I don't know where he stands on this. So
yeah, Spirit's telling me not yet. It's not time yet, so I'm saying that it's a possibility that it's going to happen for you again, but just not yet. There's still some work that needs to be done there.
Okay.
So not everybody's I know that we like to blame a lot of different things. And trust me, Mercury retrograde always is. It was a particularly horrible one, but just it's not quite healed yet on both parts. So there's got to be some waiting and some healing done. Maybe even some counseling.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to
suggest
that we do I was going to suggest that we do couples counseling. So that's interesting that you said that.
Yeah. And there's lots of different ways to do that, and there's lots of really good ones out there. So I think that's something that you need to do and learn how to communicate with each other again, because I think that's sort of missing.
Yeah, we're not communicating. That's correct.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those things that sometimes we do. We forget, or we don't work on it hard enough. So we sort of need to really relearn how to do that again, and I think that's what the situation is here.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So there is
going to get that worked out. Yeah, there's potential.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. You
Bye.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, Tiffany, I believe we have another caller. So if you want to put that one through, that would be awesome. Okay, so it's 8:56, please, Tiffany. Hello.
Hi, this is Laura.
Hi, how can I help you today?
I was hoping you could tell me if you see me getting a job. I've had a few phone interviews last week, and I have one scheduled for tomorrow.
Is that a callback?
I haven't gotten a call back yet. I was hoping to get that call back this week.
Yeah, I see a call back coming this week. That's why I wondered if that was what it was. I think you're going to get a call back, and then I think you're going to have to go for possibly a third interview before you get offered the position, but I do see that happening.
Oh, good, because that's a permanent position. I had 2 phone interviews for that one, and I thought they both went well, but I hadn't heard back yet, and I was hoping to hear it this week. And then I guess the next interview would be going there in person. You see me getting that job?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm seeing that you have to go and you have to do the interview, and I think there's going to be more than one person doing the interviewing, so it's going to be sort of like a tag team. Don't be afraid of it. You've got it, so you can do this. You can carry this off, and actually, you shine best when you're in person. So you'll be fine. But yeah, you're going to get that call back this week, and then look for it. It won't happen. Probably they'll have to wait another week after that before you actually start, but it is going to happen for you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's great.
Okay.
That's so good. You have no idea. It's been tough.
Oh, I know. We've all been there at one point in our life, so absolutely, I understand. So, but good luck and enjoy your new job.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so just this is the right one though, right? It's not like I have another phone interview tomorrow. Is that a better job opportunity for me?
No, I don't think it is. I think that the one that you're going to, you know what, if it's worth it, you'll wait for it. And I think that the one that's coming, go for this interview tomorrow. Like, why not?
Yeah.
But the one that's coming for you is absolutely the job that you want. So don't panic.
Oh, great. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. And if we could have the next caller, please, Miss Tiffany, number 352. Hello? I think we've got a... Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Just barely clicking on the line.
Okay, is that better?
That's better. How can I help? Oh, maybe you can call back in. We'll put you right through. It's just that it's really clicking and it's causing some problem.
No. Are you there?
I'm sorry, I'm not. Maybe you could just make another call in. Hello? Okay. So we've lost that caller. She'll call back shortly, I'm sure. And if we could have caller 716, please.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. What's your?
And what's your name?
Belinda.
And how can I help?
Hi. Do you see in the near future a job change for me coming?
What do you do right now?
I clean houses for wealthy people.
Oh, that's not the worst thing ever. That could be a lot of fun, I guess.
Well, I'm cleaning.
You do something else, but I think you're tired of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Oh well, I would like to do psychic work, energy work. I'm a healer, and I know that, but I just need that little push, to come out the spiritual closet, if you will.
Okay. And here I am thinking you've got this ready-made clientele that's very wealthy waiting out there for you, so why aren't you giving them your cards or dropping them in the houses that you're cleaning and trying to give yourself that push forward? It's not that you can't do it. You're the only one standing in the way.
Right. Do you have any tips for that? Or messages for my peers?
Get your name out there. Put it out there. Get your name out there. You can't do it if you don't tell anybody.
Mhm.
So you've got to start sharing what you can do with other people so that you know, and so that they know, because they can't book you if they don't know that you do it.
Right. Any tips on to make an easier transition, or no?
Oh, honey, if it was easy, we'd all be doing it. No, just keep, you're going to have to, I'm going to tell you, honestly, very few of us get to do this full time without having another source of income to fall upon. So I'm lucky I have a husband who's in the union and decent dollars, so you have to start and build slowly. And then you can go from there.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. And I believe we have our caller that we lost back, so if we could have caller number 352, please.
Hello.
Oh, that's so much better. I can hear you.
Well, good. I don't know what happened to our line. This is Cindy. How are you?
I don't know either. So how can I help you?
I was wondering if you can give me any insight on what you see with the coming up in the next few weeks with the situation with my ex. His name is Clifton.
Pardon?
His name is Clifton.
Okay. It doesn't feel. It feels like he's an ex and he's going to stay that way.
Well, that much I know.
Okay, good. Because I keep hearing, tell her to move forward. Tell her to move forward and just keep going. Is there some sort of legal battle there?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, just push forward through it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard, but nothing that you want is ever really easy. So push forward so that you can be victorious. And you can win this, but you need to work hard for it.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense to you?
No.
No, why not?
Well, basically, I mean, the legal case is I have a restraining order against him.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to come this coming weekend with escort of law enforcement to get the rest of his belongings that he refused to move for the last 7 months. I was wondering if he was really going to show up. My attorney's supposed to be coordinating this, only she's not returning emails.
Yeah, I don't see him showing up.
It
will work, but it's going to be a lot of hard work, like I said. So it's going to be basically where you just sort of say to your attorney when he doesn't show up again, okay, his stuff is here. What do I do? It's been this long. It's packed. It's on the front porch, whatever. Tell him to come get it, because if not, garbage day's Wednesday.
Okay.
Hello?
All right.
Hi. So you're going to have to really push and push hard for it. You're going to have to sort of really be tough.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So what's going on in the world today? Well, we've got a lot going on, and tonight I'm doing my Psychic Cafe here in Woodbridge in Vaughan. So that's at Panera Bread on Famous Players Road. To get in connection with me, just to book a reading is 416-894-2602. And you can always book a phone reading or a Skype reading with me through that number. Also, I am in London and Windsor at the end of the month, and then in Niagara, and then down to the States. I will be working in Salem, Massachusetts. So if you're looking to maybe come and see me face-to-face, you will only be able to do that by appointment. So if you're looking to book an appointment with me from February 7th through 10th, you'll have to book and call at 416-894-2602 or email me at bettyjaneware@me.com. Of course, you can always book through my website, www.bettyjaneware.com. As I said, tonight is Psychic Cafe. We are discussing numerology. There is a $10 charge, and that's at Panera Bread in Vaughan. And I think we're going to open up a virtual Psychic Cafe, and that's happening in the next couple of weeks. So watch the website. I'm looking at doing that probably the beginning of February. So look for that to happen. So today, everybody has to realize that finally Mercury is direct, and that's awesome. So everything is going well for us. Going well? Well, maybe not. Maybe we just don't have any excuses anymore. There's a lot going on around us in the world, and 2010, as I've said before, is becoming more awesome work for us, or better for us in a lot of different ways. As you know, I pull a tarot card each and every day, unless, of course, I'm working out of town. Then it gets a little more difficult. It's not that I don't pull the card. It's that I don't necessarily blog about it. So today's card was the Three of Wands, and it was about planning travel. Well, for me, that made perfect sense because I do have a lot of travel planned in the next couple of weeks, as I've just shared. So that was a really good thing to have happening. So please go ahead, give us a call in. Don't be shy. We're here waiting. And so call into the show and get things done. there's a lot going on and for a lot of people in the world today, and there's been so much change over the last couple of weeks, and people are really having some adjustments. Does everybody make New Year's resolutions? I don't. I made myself a promise, though, this year. It's something I don't even generally do for that. This year, I've decided that I'm going to show more gratitude. And doing that, it's going to be more personal in how I show gratitude. So I want to be able to thank everyone that I come in contact with, whether or not they do something for me. That's not the point. It's about being grateful for those people who are in our life and who do lovely things for us. And yes, we may pay for the privilege, or they may pay us for the privilege, but, we always get something from every person we meet, so it's always nice to show a little bit of gratitude. Thank you notes are a really lovely way to do that, and I've gotten back into that, writing a personal thank you note, not just sending a quick email or a text, but really getting down to business and putting pen to paper the old-fashioned way that actually I was taught to do. So I think that more of us need to do that. So I think that we need to continue on and do things that we need to do that way. And I have a lot of people to thank. Did you know that on Wednesday in Toronto, I am doing readings out of Dental Hygiene Group? So you get to combat two fears at once: that fear of the dentist and the fear you have of going to a psychic or a medium. You get to sort of get rid of both fears. It's a 2-for-1. So it's on Bloor, right across from the Islington subway station, and I am there all day. So please phone or book an appointment at 416-894-2602, or email me at bettyjaneware@me.com, or follow me on Facebook at Betty Jane Ware on Facebook. I'm always happy to meet people through Facebook. So everybody is cold today as it is out. See how cold it is out there? It's a really lovely time to come in and maybe do some winter warm-ups and things like that. So think about things that warm you up that you do in maybe a more healthy way. Things like and maybe a nice hot chai. Maybe we need to cut back our sugar intake. So maybe something like chai. Things without coffee or caffeine is really good too. Or maybe just even, warming up some of our favorite cooking spices and making yourself a cup of ginger or cinnamon chai tea. You can add things like ginger and cinnamon and star anise and nutmeg and clove and have a really lovely cup of tea. And that's what you can do. You can add these flavors to other types of teas. One of the things that I like to do as a herbalist is if I don't like the flavor of a tea, I tend to add other flavors to it. So one of the things I can't stand nettle tea. And nettles are so good for me because they're so high in potassium and things like that. So I tend to sort of stay away from it, but I know I really need it. My system doesn't process enough of it. So I add things like cloves and star anise and a little bit of ginger to that to make it palatable to me. But I've heard a lot of people are really dealing with a lot of anxiety and stress and things like that right now. So what about something to do that to help us get rid of that anxiety and stress? And I would suggest that for that, maybe a cup of tea, a lovely cup of tea that, let's see, what can we put in an anti-stress or an anti-anxiety? Chamomile, really good. We've all said chamomile tea. We all know how good it is for sleeping and for things like that. So a really good anti-stress, anti-anxiety tea has 2 parts of chamomile and oat straw, and 1 part each of lemon balm and catnip. I know you're all looking at the radio or the computer saying catnip and tea. Well, think about it. Catnip has this wonderful healing property of, look what it does in the cat. It makes them nice and mellow, and it does the same thing for us on a little bit of a different scale. So it's really good. And if you need to add something in it, because you can't really, this is a really earthy type of tea, a little bit of honey will help make it more palatable. But it's also good for a lot of other things, too. One of the other things, I don't know about you, but my husband has been sicker than a dog. He's finally sort of starting to get a little bit better. So maybe we need to look at things to help with the cold and flu season that it is. Echinacea, of course, is always wonderful. Peppermint helps to soothe, a little bit of yarrow and elderberries, and maybe some ginger for the upset tummy. And I don't know about you, but my husband's been up all night. It sounds like he's hacking up a lung. I'm telling you, he does not sound good. I've been so bad I've made him sleep with the dog a few nights. No, I'm just teasing. The dog didn't want him. So something to help with stopping that cough. Think about your elderberries, your peppermint, your marshmallow root. And yes, there is a marshmallow root, believe it or not. Things like mullein and red clover, thyme, and licorice. It's all really good things that help soothe the mucous membranes and help with stopping of the cough. You have to be a little bit careful with your cough suppressants because sometimes we actually need it to be more of an expectorant and to be able to bring up what we're coughing. So I hope nobody's eating breakfast right now, but you really do need to sometimes bring that up. And my favorite place to go for herbs in the States, and that's my people to the south, and I know I have a lot of listeners down there, is Artemisia Botanicals in Salem. So if you are looking to obtain some herbs for some of your own recipes or tinctures and things like that, you might look them up on the web. And I'll post a link on my blog a little bit later on. But some of the other things that we have to worry about as we come into February is that anxiety, that feeling low, the February blahs that we all have. I don't know why we all get them in February. Maybe I know it's dark, I know it's cold, and I know we're tired of winter, but there's other reasons too. Because it's dark, cold, and we're tired of winter, we don't get out as much. So one of my favorite things to do, whether or not I want to, like at minus 40, I know I don't want to do it, but I make myself get out and go for a quick walk with the dog, and she loves it too. And we just go for a real quick walk around the neighborhood and just, gets out in some fresh air and lets us breathe in some new things, and it's just that vibrancy of the air. And sometimes it's a little too vibrant, and it makes us a little, I don't know, cold. That pins and needles feeling in our hands isn't always good, but, it really does help us for this. And I'm going to give you a great energy-boosting tea recipe, and I'll post it on my blog a little later on this afternoon. But nettles are awesome. They're so high in potassium. And, of course, oat straw, oatmeal. So if you don't have oat straw, just even oats. So I'm going to tell you it's 2 parts of nettles, 2 parts of oat straw, 2 parts of yerba, and yerba is a great diuretic too. So a lot of times you'll see it in a weight loss tea. Green tea, of course, is a great antioxidant, and it's very high in caffeine. I know a lot of people think that green tea has no caffeine in it. Well, that's absolutely not the truth. It does have a lot. Hawthorn, of course, is so good for a lot of different things. And, of course, licorice root is also very good. Another trick for those of you who have access to some good quality herbs, licorice root for people who are quitting smoking is awesome. Get the longer sticks, not that black or red plastic-y stuff that you get in the stores, but go to a good quality herbs shop, such as Artemisia Botanicals, and get the long sticks and chew on them. Yes, it's not going to be great if you've got high blood pressure, but if you chew on that, it gives you something to keep in your mouth, and it gives you that sort of feeling of having that. It satisfies that urge to smoke a little bit, and that's always helpful. Even if you're using a patch or another anti-smoking type of therapy, it will help with that, having to have something in your mouth. And it's relatively low in calories and fat, and it has, if you like the taste of licorice, it does have a nice taste, and it does not stain your teeth, which is always lovely as well. So think about that. As I said, next week I am home, but doing readings in the Toronto area before I'm back on the road again to London. And I'm really looking forward to going to London and doing readings in that area. I haven't been to London, Ontario in a few years, so it's going to be nice to connect with some of my friends and clients in London and go to my website for complete information on the show I'm doing in London. And, here's something for all my peeps. If you say that you've heard me on the air, I will give you a discount when you come to see me in London and Windsor. So remember that. I'm in London. Not this weekend, but next weekend, and I'm in Windsor the weekend after. So I'm in London on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd, and I am in Windsor on the 27th through the 28th. So if you come and see me, and you say that you've heard me on Blog Talk with Goldilocks Productions, I will have a $5 off discount for you. So I really hope to see everybody there. And today's show is mostly about healing and healing teas, and I'm sort of putting on my herbalist hat here and talking a little bit about that thing. One of the things that people in northern climates, Canada and upstate New York, things like that, northern U.S., we all have, especially this time of year, problems with vitamin D and C. Any of the flowers, so I'm talking your chamomile, your rose hips, your lemongrass, orange peel, things like that, all high in vitamin C and D, so maybe use a little bit of that in your tea any way that you can, and try and build up our bones as we get a little bit older. We have a lot of issues with. But right now it's all about building up that immunity system so we can get over the next 3 or 4 months relatively healthy. So in there we're going to pull out that trusty old echinacea root that we all have in the back of our cupboard somewhere. And I'm going to make a little insertion here. I really believe in using the whole herb. So I know we can all see the little box of something on the counter at the grocery store, and yeah, they're not bad. But if you've got access to a whole herb, let's go that. Go get echinacea root or echinacea leaf and drink a cup of that. Just pour it, just steep it. A rule of thumb, and not always, but a rule of thumb is to pour the water over your leaves and flowers like it was a tea bag, and with your roots and your barks, you're going to bring that to a boil. So you're going to infuse like a tea bag your leaves and your flowers, and you're going to boil it like a soup in the barks and the roots. And not always, there's a few different ones that break that rule, but there's always the exception that proves the rule. But it's a general rule of thumb. You don't want to overcook something, especially with herbs. It will help. It will reduce the effectiveness. So, with your roots, you're going, and if it's a recipe that's got both roots and leaves in it, of course you're going to infuse it like a tea bag, and you can pour it into a jar, and you can let it sit there for as long as you can, and sip it during the day. That's absolutely okay. You might want to add a little bit of honey or stevia in it to make it a little more palatable. Or as I said before, maybe add a little bit of flavor that you like. Maybe you really like licorice, so star anise might be a good flavor. Or maybe adding a little bit of honey or lemon to your tea will help it make it more palatable. I like cinnamon and ginger. I like that really spicy sort of flavor, so I add that to my teas quite often. With the immunity building tea, we're going to put in echinacea root and lemongrass and peppermint in equal parts, and then elderberry, elderflower, rosehip, and green tea in equal parts, and you're going to mix that up together. And I've given it to you in 2 parts because you're going to add twice as much echinacea, lemongrass, and peppermint as you are to the elderberry, elderflower, rosehips, and green tea. Now, rosehip is the flower. When I steep these, I always break them down a bit with my mortar, just so that the flavor can come through. And picking rose hips is pretty awesome. You can pretty much find them everywhere because everybody has those little wild rose bushes. Get a bit of permission if it's on a private property. But I know that here in Canada, quite often I'll be at the Tim Hortons drive-thru or around a Costco or something like that, and I'll see the rose hips in the earlier part of the autumn, and I'll go and I'll pick them all. And that's really good for the plant, by the way, because next year you get more flowers, so it's really quite good to do that. And excuse me a second, because it makes the flower more prolific later on in the year. So when it blooms again the next year. Rose hips are awesome. They're really good for arthritis too. If you've got arthritis in the family and you're trying to stave it off, I always say cherries, cherries, cherries. But rose hips are just as good. They help. They're high in vitamin C, and they help build up the immunity system, which helps with arthritis. So that's kind of nice too. There's a lot of different types of things in teas that we can use, and I periodically do post teas on my blog, and I will add some of them there this week, and you'll see more and more of them over the next few years, or the next few months and days and weeks. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. So please call in and connect with me on my website at www.bettyjaneware.com and follow my blog. There's always something new and exciting to learn on my blog. So we all know that January is the month of Capricorn. So what's going on with the Capricorns in my listening audience today? Does anybody want to phone and find out what's going on? I know I want to know. I'm always looking at my horoscopes, and we know that Capricorn is right in the middle of it right now. It is a earth sign. We know that. It's the element of earth. It's ruled by Saturn. Your marriage or relationship or your partnership is Cancer. Those water emotional cancers are the best for you, and maybe that's because you're so solid that you can deal with the emotional state of the Capricorns. Tend to be responsible and disciplined and make really good managers, actually. They really like tradition and family and quality. So Capricorn tends to be one of the most serious signs of the zodiac, but they're very independent, and they can make significant strides emotionally and within the business, personally, things like that. Some of the strongest psychics I know are actually Capricorn, so that's kind of cool. One of my favorite, my own personal psychic, Barbara, is a Capricorn, and happy birthday, Barbara. But so she is the one that I go to see when I need some clarity on the situation. I don't read myself very well, and I wouldn't say that maybe most psychics do. The other person I go see, of course, is our own Bonnie Thompson from Goldilocks Productions. She's awesome, as you well know. And she's not a Capricorn, so there you go. So what's happening this week for Capricorn? Well, there's a lot of changes going on, isn't there? Well, you've probably all seen that. But some of these changes, it's because of what has happened. You made things happen months ago and you sort of put them on hold, and now they're sort of taking off and growing. So now it's time to, sort of take life and grasp it. It's time to show who you are. It's time to be yourself. It's time to be confident in yourself and let other people see it. Don't hide what you're doing. Be open and honest, and make sure that people know that your ideas are yours. And things are going to happen for you. And if it hasn't happened yet, it's on its way. Just let things go and go out and grab it. It's going to be a really good month for you. January, your birth month, is going to be really good. Feelings are going to carry you for a while, and there's enough time to be reasonable. So don't worry about what's happening over the next little while. It's a good time for you right now. And those incredibly high standards that you set from yourselves, they're going to pay off. Your honesty, your dedication, your perseverance, that's all going to pay off. And remember, when you have high standards, you attract those people. So don't panic about them not being there yet. They're coming your way. Both Capricorns are really successful, and they know how to manage their time, their money, their resources. That hard work, that commitment, it all pays off in the end. So don't panic too much about it, and know that your very special Cancer man is coming your way soon. And maybe it's not in a relationship. Maybe that's going to be a boss, or actually a Cancer woman, I guess, because I know I do have some male listeners as well. So we have to think about these things. It's funny, I got asked this question on the weekend: birth signs, astrological significance, make a big difference? Well, I guess that's a question, isn't it? It was something we can all discuss. Would I have married my husband had he not been a good match for me astrologically? I don't know that he is my astrological opposite. I just know the day I brought him home, my grandmother told me I was going to marry that man. Almost pretty much guaranteed that there wasn't going to be a second date, but there was. But I look for the person and then look at the other traits. If there's something that you really can't live with, then maybe you need to look outside the box and see, maybe count your blessings. I've talked a lot about manifesting recently. If you have that person that you want in your life, we all have somebody that we want, and it might not be, you might not look and say, oh, I want this person, but you might know that what personalities, what traits that you want. So you might know that you want somebody who's honest, loyal, committed. Sounds really boring so far. Fabulous job, great sense of humor, a great spirit or sense of adventure. So, maybe you know that you want a Leafs fan and not a Rangers fan. So I'm just checking to see if Tiffany's listening. And so you want to that out there. I always say write it down on a piece of paper and then maybe take it out and release it to the elements or the gods and the goddess and see what's open there and let things come in. Speaking of the gods and the goddess, do you know what our next holiday is or our next Sabbat is? Because we don't get all the times off work. Well, the next Sabbat is February 2nd, and it's Imbolc or Imbolc, depending on how you say it. Michaelmas, so that's a time of new beginnings and new life. So that's a really great time to get married, actually. So if you're planning a service or maybe a renewal of vows, that time of year is really good. Time for new beginnings and what have you. So look forward to that. I'm going to speak more about that in the next coming weeks. And I know I've been teasing you a little bit with Witchcraft Boot Camp, and that's going to happen in May, and that's going to happen in Salem, Massachusetts. So look for the weekend of, I believe it's the 6th, 7th, and 8th of May, and we'll be doing Witchcraft Boot Camp out of Artemisia Botanicals in Salem, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And we're covering everything from history to ritual to tools. We'll help you create your book of shadows. We'll work on your first spells. We'll help you with your own personal dedication to the craft. We'll do quite an intensive evening of spell working and how to make magic work for you and what's available and what type of different magic. We'll look at poppets. We'll look at herbs. We'll look at candle. We'll look at color, and then we'll combine them all to make really effective magical spells. And how many of you have ever done knot magic or rope magic and worked with the colors? As much as I say color magic has no color, it does. It has a vibrancy. So if you want to pull in love, you're going to pull in maybe your reds and your greens for healthy love and red for passion and, maybe some other colors as well. Some, as I said, green for health, and my mind went blank, and it does, but you're going to pull that in, and you're going to make a braid, and you're going to put maybe in pieces. I love knot magic, by the way. I'm going to braid 3 colors together, and I'm going to add things that are unique and personal to me. So if I'm doing a healing spell, you've probably heard me talk about this. I'm pulling pieces of my hair out to put that in. If it's for somebody else, such as my husband, I'm putting in a piece of his hair. I might be wandering around and outside and putting in some either leaves or grasses or plant matter or some herb magic as well into that knot magic that I'm working, and then I will work on that. I'll work my spell, and then I'll release the knots. Sometimes for instance, if you're doing a witch's ladder, you might I work on it and carry it with you until you need it, until you no longer need it, and then you'll release it to the elements. And when I release something to the elements, I tend to burn it in my cauldron out back, and then just let the smoke carry it to the heavens and let things happen that way. I think it's the best way to go forward. That way I'm not cluttering the landfills or anything like that. And when I do I have to be very specific here when I'm doing knot magic or rope magic. I am using a natural rope, and I'm coloring it myself with natural dyes. So my reds may not be as true because I might be using rose petals to dye it with, or my yellow might be a little more oniony because of my onion skins, but that's okay because at least I know when I'm releasing it, it's not going to harm the environment, and I think that's very, very important. It's a question I actually get asked quite a bit when I'm doing candles and things like that, or working on my spell oils. Quite often they're safe fragrance oil rather than an essential oil. I love essential oils, don't get me wrong. I really do, and I think that if you can work with those, you should, absolutely. But sometimes we have to look at what harm it might do to the environment. Sandalwood is now on the endangered species, so I don't like to use sandalwood. I'd rather use an imitation sandalwood. Ambergris is another one that's it harms the whales, so I don't use it. I use an imitation and things like that. Spell oils are something that you'll see on my website in the next little while as well. There is a limited amount of them there, but they're more and more as things get added over the next couple of weeks and months. Something else that will be added is pendulums and pendulum magic. One of the things I like to do. It's funny, I just got an update on my iPad telling me it's time to drink gin, so chin chin everybody, help yourself to some. Just teasing, be careful. What else is going on in our lives? It's funny that January is always that time of new beginning and renewal. And as gray and dismal as it out today, I know that it's going to, I can see that by the weather forecast what's coming on in the week, so I know what's good. This is our time to shine. This is our time to, we've just come through, the days are getting longer, so as much as it's still a little bit dark out there, we're getting ready and preparing for the new seasons. So this is our time to still maybe create what we need to go forward in the new year and the upcoming weeks and months. So for me personally, this is the time where I'm making my magic kits, where I'm working on different projects and things like that around the house. I'm doing brainstorming. I'm moving forward with tell you I'm really looking forward to what this new year brings. I'm feeling a lot more hopeful and energetic, and I don't know what the word really is. I'm really motivated this year for some reason, more so than I was last year. It's been a tough year on so many levels for so many people. So I am really looking forward to what this year brings, and it's quite a feeling of excitement, and I really want to get back to, for some reason I'm feeling the urge to walk in nature, and it's funny how it always happens when it's really, really bitter cold out. One of the things I want to do is down the road from me where I live in Toronto, there is a place called BAPS, and I can't say all the words on it because it is a temple, and it's again, it's got like 17 letters in it, but it's got a lot of the gods and goddesses in it. So I love going into there. It's a Sikh temple, and in there we'll find things like you can go in at certain times of day, and you can see the gods and goddesses. So when I go in, I love to go in and wander around first thing in the morning and I can go in and I can pay my respects to Ganesh and all those. I can make my offerings, and it's right off of Finch Avenue here in Toronto, at 427. So it's on Clairview, and you can go in, and it's really lovely. It's beautiful. It's hand carved teak. It's a beautiful place to go visit, and you go in, and of course you have to take your shoes off, and there are men's and women's entrances and shoe closets. You can go in and you can take part in and witness the devout their prayers, and you can go into the gallery and see all of the gods, and they're beautiful, carved in marble. They are absolutely beautiful. And, of course, the gift shop has a lot of lovely items in it as well, a lot of chants and things like that, a lot of herbal products. And so I love to go in there in the mornings. And they do have different things that you can see. It is free, which is always lovely, and you can there's no charge for parking or anything like that, but a beautiful thing to see and do. They do ask that you dress appropriately, no sleeveless tops or shorts, appropriately length skirts, things like that. And if you they would prefer that your shoulders are covered, but they will give you a sarong to wrap around yourself. They don't allow a lot of pictures, and I would never take a picture without asking for permission. So always do that. And they don't allow any videoing, so none of that live Facebook stuff. But if you're in Toronto, and these BAPs, Google it, they're around the world. So go in and take a look at it. They are absolutely beautiful, and the work is gorgeous. And it's the place that I have found that's close to me that I can go connect and with my own and ground almost, I guess, because it's something I don't find easily done here in Canada. My place to go ground to connect, of course, is in the UK. I didn't pick it on purpose; it just happened, and so it is a little. It was a little awkward sometimes to get to. So take a look in, go in and see what's there. It's absolutely beautiful, and they do have a lot of events and things like that on. So check it out and see what's going on. But check and see what's going on in your neighborhood. Recently I thought, what can I do in Toronto, and what can I do that's not going to cost a lot of money? And I was surprised when I Googled it what came up. I didn't know we have sort of like I don't know what to call it. There's an old inn, the Guild Inn in Eastern Toronto, and you can wander around this place. And it used to be an artist's community at one point, and I know they're restructuring, but you can still walk around the grounds, and it's where all of the sort of old pillars and statues and carvings that were carved into the stonework of the buildings have gone. And it's quite an unusual place because there's big, huge pillars and lions, and from one of the bank towers, there's all of the provinces that they've got put around it, like the floral emblems and the shields all around it. It's a beautiful place to wander and connect. And so it's just in Scarborough, Ontario, and it's lovely. And so take a look at what's available in your own backyard and see what's out there. I know that for myself, it was rediscovering and connecting to what's around me was kind of a neat thing to do, and I am going to continue to do that. And don't forget, you can always connect with me on Facebook at Betty Jane Ware, or phone at 416-894-2602, or you can email me at bettyjaneware@me.com. There's a lot going on in your own neighborhood, so take a look at my website and see what's available in around you, and see what I'm up to, because I keep my website pretty much up to date with as much as I can. So I am really looking forward to seeing everyone and going forward, and I'm looking forward to London and Kitchener, and then after that I am in Niagara Falls, and then down to Salem, Massachusetts. So like I said, if you want to book a session with me in Salem, please phone me at 416-894-2602 or book a session. And it has to be by appointment. I'm not seeing clients willy-nilly. I can't do that this time. I am at somebody else's place, so it has to be pre-booked. Or you can email me at bettyjaneware@me.com. And I see that we have one more caller before the end of the show, so let's take this caller real quick. Tiffany, 401, please.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm a first-time listener, and I've enjoyed the show today. I just wanted to tune in and to see if you had anything for me. for the new year, for some full moon intentions that are coming up.
Okay, I didn't quite catch all of that. It was to do with.
Hello?
Had a question. Hello. You had a question about?
A little bit.
Pardon?
With the full moon coming up, I'm setting some new intentions for the new year. So, with regard to career and relationship, I was open to anything you may have regarding that.
Okay. Well, setting intentions is always so important, and it really does depend on. Are you looking? The power of the moon is amazing. It's just awesome. So anything that you do at the full moon is going to be amplified. So if you're working, like I said earlier, I believe in the colors and things like that. So if I'm looking, if I want a happier, healthier year, I'm going to do something. I'm going to write down my intentions on green paper. If I'm looking to build power in my year, I might write down what my affirmations are on maybe some red paper, or if I would use red for love as well. So maybe do a little bit a quick search on color magic that you can incorporate into that, and maybe that too, to strengthen it, add the color candle, because of course when we set something in our cauldron or pot that we're going to burn, you're going to be using a candle of some sort. So maybe amplify it again with the color of the candle. So if you're bringing love in, you're going to write all those traits on a red piece of paper, and you're going to use a red candle to burn it and release it, and let that candle burn all the way down. Birthday candles are great for that.
Great.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Okay, perfect. Well, let me know how it goes. Connect with me on Facebook.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
You too.
Thank you. The full moon is awesome for setting intentions and making it go. So it's a powerful time of year. It's also really good for divination and to look forward. So maybe pull out those tarot cards that you've sort of set on the back burner because life got in the way of the holidays. And so move forward and pull those tarot cards out and dust them off and, take a look at those again. And don't forget to check online. I have my year and a day witchcraft school that's still going on, and every month you get a new lesson. And you can skip months if you want, or you can book it all in advance. So take a look online at my website at www.bettyjaneware.com and check out my year and a day witchcraft school. It's a lot of fun, and it is the same thing that I'm going to be teaching in Salem, but in Salem I'll be adding a little bit to the class, so it's a little different. You will be getting spell casting and self-initiation, and of course personal time with myself and my partner. So that's going to be something to organize and come down and see us. And of course it is in Salem, and who doesn't want to go to Salem in May? It's going to be pretty awesome down there, and I'm looking forward to it. And we are going to be doing some sea magic as well, so that's going to be pretty cool. Candle magic, herb magic, self-dedication and ritual, and just learning history and learning about tools and what to include in a book of shadows and how to get past that fear of the first page. And that works in so many ways. Your books, your diary even, or maybe the blank page of the first page of the book you're trying to write. So this is a great time to set your intentions for the year and move forward. I want to thank everybody today for listening and calling in, and I look to you all again next Monday. I should have a guest, and I'm just waiting to hear a little more from her so we can get that all set up. But at this point, I will have a guest from New York next week, so pay attention to my blog and my website to find out who that's going to be. I'm really excited to work with her again. So thank you, everybody, and have a great afternoon. Bye.
Hi, this is Maury Moreland Morrison, here to tell you Geico has more than just great savings. Much more. Yes, while Geico could help you rack up more moolah faster than you can say metamorphosis, they've also been the fastest growing auto insurer for more than 10 years. That's more like it. Furthermore, Geico has fast and friendly claim service. That might seem like an oxymoron, but it's not. All the more reason to say no other auto insurer has more than Geico. Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
You know what's great? Going to a game. You know what's not great? Parking at a game. With Uber, you can turn event parking into a non-event. Just install the Uber app. Enter your destination, confirm your location, and within minutes, a car will pick you up. I know, right? With upfront fares, you can know the price before you go. And you pay with the Uber app so you can save your cash for the souvenir shop. So make tonight a fun night. Install the Uber app now and take your first ride today. Uber, the better way to get there.